2 days ago, my buddy Aramis was diagnosed with cancer. We've been together for 12 years now. I think he's 13 or 14 years old. And it was a total shock. The first thing I did is I brought my bed over here with his food and his toilet so he won't have to move around the house. And we went to the veterinary. We went to 2 veterinaries on that day. I went to emergency veterinary and they did a scan and they saw there was a mass, probably a tumor or cancer. So it was, like I said, a total shock. It's like a train hit me and I just couldn't understand what happened because he was doing so well. And within 2 days, he just like stopped eating and started hiding under the sofa, which was totally abnormal. So yeah, they gave us some medication. So they gave us those, they gave us pain medication, they gave us anti-nausea medication, and they gave us also medication for his appetite. And yes, these medications, which are anti-pain, antidouleur, I gave him 2 yesterday. You have to give it every 12 hours. But he was completely zombie. He couldn't move, he couldn't do anything. His eyes were super dark all day. Like his pupils were extremely dark. Right now they're doing better. I've been rinsing his pupils as well. And I've been also cleaning his eyes every hour because they've been producing some yucky stuff. But we've been taking care of that and they're doing so much better. He's been moving. We've been going on the balcony a couple of times. I also got him a little bit of music. We slept with music tonight. And this is my toy, which I had when I was 6 or 7 years old. I still don't know if it's a dog or a bunny. And little by little, he started standing up. Little by little, we're doing a little bit of progress. I've been doing Reiki on him. Once a day I do Reiki. And there's something that I ordered from Amazon. Because these medications, I like these anti-pain meds, they're like extremely strong. Like he doesn't move when I give it to him. Oops. So I ordered something from Amazon, which there were like 1,000 reviews. It is for cats that have cancer, and it's a natural treatment that helps their immune system. And there were a lot of reviews where people said that they had like cats that had 2-3 months to live, but it's been like 2 years. So I did order Life Gold. I ordered that. And I also ordered CBD oil, which will be able to control the pain, and which I probably will replace. This medication from the veterinary, I will only give it like in extreme cases because he literally gets zombie when I give it to him. But I really feel like he's doing so much better and he's going to progress. So yeah, I cannot wait to receive my CBD oil and we'll see how that's gonna go. And this is day 2. Tomorrow will be day 3 and I'm sure he will progress even more. So I filmed this clip on Tuesday. No, that's not true. I filmed this clip on Wednesday. And on Thursday, Aramis was very calm. He wasn't moving much. So I did really think that he just needed to rest. I didn't film anything and I thought that, you know, it's like the low moment before it gets better. And I really hoped that in a day or 2 he would be running around the house doing so much better, but that's not what happened. So later in that evening at 10 p.m. on Thursday, 10 p.m. Half of his back leg stopped moving out of nowhere. So it was 10:30ish p.m. and we were getting to bed. I thought maybe he's very, very tired, or it's gonna pass. I thought it's gonna pass. I gave him at that time I didn't give him anti-pain meds. So later that night at 3:33, on Friday, 3:33 a.m., I felt him on my knees, and it was a really strange feeling. I woke up and his back legs stopped working. They stopped working completely. And I could see that he was in a lot of pain. He tried to say meow, but nothing was coming out. He didn't have any voice. He was restless. He would try to walk around the house. I would hold his back feet, and he tried to go to urinate, and he wasn't able to urinate in the toilet, so he did urinate in my hands, and I just could see that he was extremely uncomfortable. Then at that point, I did give him anti-pain medication, and I thought that it would get better, but it wasn't. So around 4 a.m., I was able to find a veterinary, and I just felt like the pain meds are not working. He's degenerating extremely quickly, and the worst part is that he is in extreme, devastating pain. So we went to the veterinary, and it was a 24-hour veterinary with good reviews, very, very good reviews, which I'm really happy about, that we were able to get a very good veterinary. And she said, listen, we have two choices. So keep in mind, Aramis is about 12, 13, 14 years old. I would say 13, 14 years old. So she said, I can do two things. First of all, if I give him back to you, there's no way he's going to survive for tonight. I can keep him over here, but I don't have much hope, because he seems to have, and I'll go into more details what happened before, but she didn't have hope. She said, I don't have hope, and on top of that, his body was at 34 degrees. So yes, that's what happened. So he did leave. I had him in my arms. I was looking in his eyes. There was a point where he was not in pain anymore, and he looked at me in the eyes, and I did my best not to cry. All the time I did my best not to cry, so he wouldn't be scared, because he was already scared. And yes, he left. So here is what happened prior to these days. The reason why I'm telling you what happened prior to these days is to show you a little bit of history, maybe if you have a cat or a dog, just to see how my experience maybe differs or is similar to yours, or maybe, I hope it never happens to you, but you know. So I had Aramis since he was 2 years old. I was out and about, and I saw, oh look, there are cats over here, and I just went in, and they said, oh, it was a refuge, so there were cats that didn't have a home, and they said, oh, you know, this cat, he doesn't have a home. I said, oh really? I wasn't really looking for a cat, but I'll take him. So yeah, that was about 12 years ago. So I had him for 12 years. We were meant to be together. He became my brother. He became my friend. We were together constantly, especially in the past, I would say 5 years. He would be more dependent on me. And I was really, really happy to take care of him, even though sometimes I couldn't travel or I couldn't go somewhere, because he was dependent on me, and on top of that, sometimes he would pee somewhere or poo somewhere, like, oh, you know. So I couldn't really bring him anywhere.
This thing has been right on time for like 2 weeks. Anyway, time is like, here.
In November 2019, I did do blood test for Aramis. That's my cat's name, Aramis. I adopted him with his name, I never changed it. And I did do blood test, and at that time in November 2019, the veterinary checked him. Everything was perfect, blood test very good. There seemed to be a little bit of renal problems, kidney problems, but nothing serious. So after that, in March, on March 9th, I did more blood tests, and the blood test came out beautiful. And at that point, I did blood tests because he needed to have we were removing a lot of teeth. And that was on March 31st, and the doctor saw him, she touched him, we did blood test. Everything was beautiful. She was even surprised, how come his blood tests are so good at his age? So I never really actually thought that there was something wrong with him, except maybe his age. He was getting older, he would poo or pee somewhere, you know, he had his habits like any cat would, older cat would. Aramis. On Sunday, I did film a video. I filmed a video of talking about my hobbies, and you could see Aramis in each and every scene that I filmed. He was around. He would jump on the bed, he would ask me to pet him, like to touch his head, and that was on Sunday. So on Monday, I thought I would bring him to the veterinary because I did notice that it's been like 2-3 days. His eyes were really sad, and he didn't poo for quite a few days, and I just felt like I need to bring him to the veterinary. So on Monday, 1 p.m, they had a spot open. I brought him to the veterinary, not his usual veterinary because she was a little bit too far away. So I did bring him to the veterinary, and she touched him, and I said, listen, I just feel like he's constipated. He like didn't give me a normal poo for 5 days, or no, for like 7 days, for a week. I had like little poos, not even. And she said, listen, I just touched him and I feel like there's a mass. It might be cancer or tumor, but I don't feel much poo inside of him. I took Aramis with me, and I'm like, there's no way, like she doesn't know what she's talking about. So I called his veterinary and I said, listen, I need an appointment. This crazy lady is telling me he has some cancer, whatever. We just did a bunch of blood tests, so I don't understand how come that's happening. Like, that's not true. So I brought him home. He was kind of weak. I gave him a little bit of food. He didn't eat much. And I went to do my nails. So when I come back, I started petting him at the tummy, and I did feel that there was some mass, but like it's as if there was liquid in his tummy. So then he started vomiting, like he would vomit, and there would be a lot of water, a lot of yellowish stuff, a lot of food that I gave him, and it was 7 p.m. I found an emergency veterinary just close to my house, and I'm like, listen guys, there's something really wrong. You need to take me right now. And they were emergency, so they took us. And I brought Aramis. I told her the history and everything. I gave her the file that from the previous veterinary, the one that I usually see, who was in another city. So she had all the blood tests, all his files, and she said, listen, we're going to do a scan. And they did a scan, and then she called me and she said, and that was still on Monday. she said, she showed me the scan and you could see that there was a little bit of poo. She said there's nothing like really, he's not that much, he's not constipated, that's what she said. But then it was his abdominal scan and it was like, how can I say, it was like cloudy. You couldn't see any organs, you couldn't see much, and she said it's not good, it's really not good. So basically she said what they can do is do more testing, do a biopsy, do blood test, and a surgery. But then she's like, you know, he's 13-14 years old, it's gonna be really hard on him. So what I'm gonna do is I will give you pain medication, I will give him, she called it palliative care. So pain medication, appetite medication, and the other is anti-nausea medication. So I brought him home and I was completely devastated. He wouldn't eat, he just stopped moving, he wouldn't say meow. And like on previous days, like you could see he would jump everywhere, and this was like night and day. He didn't move, he didn't say meow, he didn't eat. I gave him pain medication, it was every 12 hours. He was completely like, so firstly I did think he was on pain meds and that he was kind of like zombie because of the pain meds. And then you guys know what happened. So on the day that he died, on the evening, that evening, I did call his veterinary, who was in another city, and she could only take him on Thursday. So I asked her to check on the scan, and she said, and she knew Aramis, she knows him very well. And she said, this could be a tumor, this could be a cancer, we don't know how fast it grows, if it's gonna grow. So yeah, that's basically what she said. I had a bunch of questions for her. How do I feed him? Can he go poo? Should I help him urinate? How do I help him urinate? Like all of those stuff. How do I keep him hydrated? And she answered all my questions. And after I spoke with her, I really felt like, wow, okay, maybe it's just a tumor and it's not gonna grow, and it's gonna get great, and I'll be able to do part 2 and 3 and 4 of this video where he's gonna be running around and doing really well. But no, he left, and he left this world. And on the day my baby boy left, I bought this beautiful plant. I'm not sure what it is, but it's really beautiful, so that it would stay with me forever, like his memory. If you guys know what it's called, let me know please in the comment section. I know you can't really see it, but it's lovely. I don't know what I could have done differently. I think on March 31st, he went out of the veterinary because he had teeth extractions. Obviously, she already did blood tests, she already examined him, and there was nothing wrong. So between March 31st and November 6th, when he passed away, there's something that happened. Maybe there was already a growth, which you cannot really see with blood tests, but you can feel. But if it was small and it was growing, anyways, I feel like it was meant, it was his time. But the way, definitely I do miss his little tummy, his furry tummy, and just playing with him. I miss his little ears, I miss his beautiful green eyes, I miss his little nose. I miss him annoying me in the kitchen when I cook. I miss him laying down close to me. I miss him in every of my videos, not being over here. But He's always, 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 always and forever in my heart. Forever. He stole it. He stole a big piece of my heart. And I love my Aramis. So if there's anything that I can tell you regarding this story is if your pet, your body is in pain, what I did, I turned off my phone. I did not go on social media. I just stayed with him. I gave him the best comfortable life that I could give him. I would give him food with a syringe. I would put music. I would sleep with him. I would do Reiki on him. There was a little routine. And I would not show him that I was crying, that I was in pain. I just found this energy like, okay, now I'm a caregiver and that's my role, and I'll do it to my best abilities because I know he's looking at me and I need to give him my strength and my energy. So by disconnecting from everything, because when you start telling people, you know, my cat has cancer and tumor, people start telling you, oh, you need to let him go, you know, he's old and all of that, and that's the last thing you want to hear. You don't want to hear that. I think one thing that you can tell someone is, if you need help, I'm here for you. Stay strong, because you will know when your pet is dying. You will know. They will show you. But don't do it before their time comes. This was my story with Aramis. And as I mentioned, he will always and forever be in my heart. I feel his presence. I do still talk to him. I still have all of his stuff at home. I'm not ready to remove them. And I will give him a beautiful burial to his body. And this, I wish you a beautiful day, beautiful night. I hope to see you very soon. Stay strong.